have a very cool gate. Chat, I was talking to myself because I didn't unmute. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome to our final Wednesday Dev Day stream. Oh, man. Of GBJune. It will almost certainly not be our final stream which involves developing, but it will be our final Wednesday Dev Day stream because we've run out of Wednesdays. We have a lot to do today. So I'm going to do some hellos and then we'll dive straight into it. There has been a lot of development since last Wednesday. If you've not been watching the extracurricular Dev Day streams, you'll have missed out on the latest developments, but I'll be sure to get you up to speed here. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm legit out of breath because I had to run up the stairs because I forgot to get myself any water. Okay, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Maple Kid. Bonjour, Denpuk. Hello, Arch. Ratty Gang for Life. Lemon One. Newt Newt. Voxy. Not Freddy Killer. Movies XP. Popcorn Ron. Thomas VR. Mr. O. Nice to see you, Mr. O. See, that one was very intentional. And everybody else who's watching at home. Good to see you all. I hope you're all well this fine Wednesday. Let's just get into it. No time for chit-chat. This is a Dev Day stream. You all know by this point that this is business, strictly business only on Wednesdays. So let's switch over. Also, hello, King Monk. Did I say hi to you already? I hope your shoulder improves soon. A shoulder injury is never fun. So I hope you feel rested and recovered as soon as possible. Okay, so here we have the latest build of Project PlatFORMS 2506, 2504. The 4 at the end indicates that today alone, there has been 4 builds, because the first part is today's date, and the final digit indicates how many published builds there have been. So this is the latest one. I guess I should say, if you're keen to download the current build, try things out yourself, you can grab that on my programmer ID. I have pinned a message in the Project PlatFORMS thread on the forum with the latest build code. Hey, Andrew's Journeys, good to see you. Let's take a look at it, because quite a lot has changed since the last Wednesday Dev Day stream, as I mentioned a moment ago. Okay, first things first, you're going to be seeing a lot less of this guy because our placeholder Telfie sprite has not only been imported, but is now functional thanks to the assistance of Dalmont and Zert in the Discord today. This was something that we finished off last night on the extracurricular stream, but I hadn't got it hooked up, and I was asking what the best method would be to do so. And this is what Dalmont and Zert came up with as perhaps not the absolute most shaved, like minimal setup, but one of the cleanest and kind of readable ways. So there's maybe a little bit of room for refinement here, but honestly, very, very, very happy with this as our player character animation system for the walk cycle. If you weren't here yesterday, what we did to create our sprites was use the beautifully rigged and cleaned up Blender model created by Arch earlier in the week to generate our walking poses and export those and convert them into sprites. This is not necessarily the final player character sprite, but it's more than sufficient for what we're going to be doing today. And Voxy and I worked on a kind of cleaned up, slightly reworked Redux version of the Telfie model, which I may end up going back and adding to this if I've got enough time. But if I don't, at the very least, it will be used for any additional artwork that we produce. So, what's the plan for today? Well, we actually have a pretty robust plan. Since last time, Zert has shared some pretty significant fixes, expansions, reworkings of some core systems in the game. So the first one is the way that the critters both follow and are commanded. There's also a reworking of the way that all ties into the cursor, because remember, this is a mouse game. And also the first implementation of how the bridge mechanic itself will work. Hey, mousepad. So, remember I mentioned a moment ago that we have a pinned message in the Project Platforms thread on the Discord that talks through all of those steps. So I'm going to be referencing that multiple times during today's stream. So if you're following along at home, definitely check out that message. That will break down all of this more thoroughly. And if need be, and I can see Zert's in chat. Zert, if you're okay with this, I might also need to reference the video on stream because very helpfully Zert produced a video talking through some of those changes. So it might be valuable, might be useful to have a bit of a visual reference for some of this stuff. So I'm actually going to back out of this build here. And I'm going to copy this because I am going to be tearing everything apart here. I'm going under the hood. I'm disassembling the engine. I'm disconnecting the electronics because these are some pretty serious system overhauls. So let's give this game a new title. And we're going to call this the Zertpocalypse. Is that spelt right? Sure. No E. Because we ran out of characters. Oh, Apocalypse. Thank you, Mr. O. I was thinking of Pocoyo. Okay. All right. So I've actually got the... Hey, RJ, good to see you. Yes, it's our Wednesday Dev Day stream. There's going to be a lot of GBG dev from me this week. Yeah, don't worry about it. Spelling's overrated. Look, I have Zert's video here. So we're going to watch a little bit of this first. So buckle up, folks. I've got captions on because it might be a little quiet. I'll tweak it if it is still too quiet. But let's listen to
reading comprehension.
Thank you very much, Mr. O. Listen to the soothing sounds of Zert here as he explains through the first part of the new systems.
Hello there. So this is just an explanation video of what I did for this build of the PlatFORMS game. So just to show it off again, like here's me commanding the critter to move where I want it to be, where I click, and then so make it move to myself. And then when it detects it's above ground, it immediately snaps its position and becomes a block. So how did I achieve this? So basically, I made a lot of changes to the code you had before. So right now, well, I still have the UFO here, but the UFO is on its own. And remember, at the end of your last stream, you connected a teleporter to it to teleport the model to it at all times. So now I changed it to a free slider instead. So
okay, so this is where I'm going to jump in and check back against my programming screen, because Zert just mentioned that we previously had a teleporter set up there, but this has changed in this build. So I think this is the first area to at least pay attention to. I'll drop the video off screen for a second. In fact, you know what? Let's just shrink it down so we can compare and contrast. Okay, so there's our UFO. Here. By the way, I will put some music on shortly, but as I'm switching back and forth between Zert's video, I think it will probably get messy. So let's just be fully locked in for a minute. So there's our UFO. There's the existing teleporter currently, which is hooked up to what? This here, I believe. Is that BNB? Yes. Okay, so in Zert's setup, there is a free slide that we do not have at all currently. So let me just create that first of all. Hey troops, have a scrub back through the stream so far because we have the player walk animation working. I was showing it off a few moments ago. Where are the free slides? Moving objects. No. It's orange. It is an orange one, right? It's a connection. Free slide connector. There we go. You know what? I am going to put some music on because it will help my concentration. I'll put it on kind of low for now, though. Adjust it as we go. Okay. So this freeze slide is connected up to a location sensor that's connected to that UFO. So for now, I'm going to put the location sensor.
Reading comprehension.
Troops just got to my incredible naming, I believe. So we're going to have a location sensor here. And the location sensor is going to plug into the X, Y. I get the right one. And Z of the free slide. Yeah, Movies XP. This is the DS cooking navigation game OST. Okay, and then this is connected to our UFO. There's going to be stuff that we need to unplug, but I'm going to try and do this somewhat methodically as we go. But let's refer back to Zert's video now.
The UFO is completely separate, and then I connected the location sensor to it, and then here's a free slider connected to 00.
Okay, free slide connected to 00. So I believe this box here, once I get this off screen, is our 00. Yes, it is. There we go. So we're getting the initial building blocks together here.
The free slider just follows the location input of the UFO. So basically, whatever's attached to this free slider just follows where this UFO is.
Okay, so I'm seeing here. I think you should be able to see my mouse. That this is the Critter 1 logic. So I'm going to actually grab that and move it down so we've got it nearby to somewhat match the setup. Put it here and then move these down. I think that's where Zert had it. Tucked in neatly here around the level. Hey, Nodon guy. Okay, so it's actually connected to this. Okay, let's continue on with the video.
Goes, and that's this critter here. So yeah. Next, how do I control the critter now?
Just seen. What is this tiny thing? Let me just close the window a sec. What is this tiny thing here? Oh, that's the ground touch sensor. I've just seen that that's connected to an on start and a not. So I think that's probably to prevent it sensing the ground at the very beginning and building a block straight away, which was something that was mentioned last stream. Zert says, finally, I'm a guest on VideoDojo. We've got asynchronous guest spot here for Zert. Oh my goodness. Voxy says it's too hot out. It is warm here again. We had a couple of days of slightly cooler weather, but it has seriously picked back up. Wait, what is that then? That's not the... That's actually not that. It's something small that this is connected to. Oh, wait. There we go. Not sure where that knot goes. That location sensor can live over here. And there is going to be a map. That we connect to the Y here, but we'll wait to finalize those connections here. Let's carry on with Zert's video.
So before, like, we had a lot of systems. Like, there's one system that, like, or there's some flags to activate when you should follow the player, or you should follow the cursor, or several other modes. So here I simplified it a bit and just set it to just one thing. So right now, the critter just always follows a specific object. So in this case, this critter follows a soccer ball. So wherever the soccer ball goes, it'll just go to it. And you can see that the logic to the UFO is much simpler. So right now I'm sending... So this is the location. This is the location of the soccer ball. And I'm sending the inverse of its location. So I'm just telling it. So say so like right now I'm sending the location of the soccer ball.
Okay, so that's probably the next thing we should do. So this is going to set up our fancy object follow system. Let me get rid of the screen again. So I'm going to be adding some inversions here, which feed into the X, Y, and Z of the UFO as well from the location. So convert inversion 1 2. Come on, let me in. There we go. 3. Hey Etelshin, welcome to the stream. Which then in turn goes back into the left, right, up, down, and forward, backwards of the UFO. I'm also going to preemptively set this to E because that's the teleporter that Zert uses here. It will no longer be teleporting the piece that it was before, but it's already here and it's already connected up, so I may as well just make that slight adjustment. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is an additional location sensor that we'll need soon. So I'm just going to put this in here preemptively. And let's refer back to Zert's video once more.
So say if you do that, so like right now I'm sending the location of the soccer ball minus its location. So basically,
so we need to get a soccer ball or a football fancy object, as it's called on my copy of the game, and we're going to be sending the location of this shortly. Oh, you couldn't see that, but I just made a football.
it just goes to whichever location the soccer ball is. Now, how do I make it do the different modes, like following the cursor and following the player? Basically, all I did was just, instead of trying to manipulate like the target coordinates of the critter, I just move the soccer ball where I want it to be. So for example, for this cursor mode, I just teleport the soccer ball to wherever the cursor is. You can see here, here's the soccer ball.
Okay, so this is our first good look at this logic. Ooh, okay. That one's the soccer ball, I think. So... let's move this down to critter selected. Oh, so we're just gonna shift this over this way a bit for now. Mr. O says, is that the soccer ball that comes with Dom's notebook? Listen, Mr. O, it's Football Manager. Alright, get it right, Mr. O, it's Football Manager. I love football. Nothing I love more than watching football. I don't know what I was doing. Let's get the football and another location sensor and connect that up to there. So that's probably going to feed into something up here shortly. Might want to put it nearby for now to see if the critter actually moves to it. Ooh, good idea. Let me make these connections first, and then I will shift it over. Okay, so isn't football in the UK the same as soccer in the US? Yeah, you got it exactly right, Mr. O. I was just being silly. Okay, so this is some logic for the location sensor X and Z output. It looks like it's a repetition. Oh yeah, no silliness, no silliness. Sorry, Mr. O. I forgot. Okay, so let me just check if this is replicated in the existing logic. It's kind of... no, not really. So is this teleporter here the one that's going to be the teleport entrance here? Aha! Okay, so Zert says those guys are the same. Alright, okay. I wondered if that was the case, but I wasn't too sure. So we're gonna have ourselves a little flag here as well. I'm just kind of building this. Again, some of this stuff will be kind of placed in and connected up later on, if everything goes right. Because I'm doing this in a slightly piecemeal way as we progress through the different sections of the code, because of course as with everything, everything is kind of interconnected, and probably will be all very broken until it's suddenly not. And I'm hoping that we'll get to that point today. So this is going to be connected to this, and let me connect this to this, and this to, oops, that's the wrong one. This to this, and this to this. Okay, so obviously I haven't set any of these just yet, but we'll come back to that. There is also some stuff set up here for recalling the critters, or I'm just referencing the Zert's video. Over here on Zert's copy of the game, there is some teleporters that are used for recalling the critter, I believe. But we'll come back to those because they've not been specifically addressed just yet. Okay, so if we have the ball and we move it somewhere onto the stage, what will happen right now? Probably nothing, because these are not connected to anything. One more time, please. Ooh. Just, we need some Gmod clipping sounds. Okay, let's look at Zert's video. We'll continue connecting stuff up.
Here's a teleporter. Oh wait. So in this example, so this is the cursor. I attached the exit P.
Okay, I just want to have a look and see how different the cursor is looking. Okay, the cursor system looks like it is untouched, with the exception of a B teleport exit connected to the cylinder.
Here. Oh yeah. It's actually exit B is connected to the
teleport object entrance. Okay, so that's how I connected the counters straight to the free slide. Connected the counters straight to the free slide as well now. Hang on, let me just... Let's see. These counters? Are these free slides? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think I can actually just get rid of this whole central chunk here. Because we're going to go from that counter up to the free slide. Yes. I think that can go. So we're instead going to go from here with the counter and from here with the counter. Okay, nice. Tube says deleting any node on in a spaghetti plate is nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie, Tubes. I am petrified. I'm so scared of this process, even with like the extremely like clear and detailed overview that Zert has provided, both in video and text form. I feel so out of my depth. I'm so scared, but I've just got to do it. I've got to face it head on, and hopefully I will just be as precise as possible with following the instructions to not have everything irreparably implode. Oh yes, so speaking of explosions, right now our bird is exploding. So there is an extra if touched counter and trigger from 0 here in Zert's copy, which then goes down to that giant bee teleporter. Hey Rudy, welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. So that, let's get that built too. Trigger from 0. And let me just reference the video again.
Exit P here.
Oh, hang on, I need to scrub back.
The cursor is. You can see here. Here's the soccer ball. And here's a teleporter. Oh wait. So in this example, so this is the cursor. I attach the exit P here. Oh yeah. So actually, exit B is...
There we go. So we're going to have a massive teleport object entrance B. And that's going to connect up to the trigger from 0. Oh yeah. I am exploding because I'm a bird. I love it. Thank you, Tubes, for the very kind reminder. I also saw a reminder to hydrate earlier, and that is a great tip. Otherwise, my dangerous journey to get some water moments before the stream began would be for nothing. Let me take a sip. You know it's warm when I have a cold drink. That's unprecedented. Rudy says, I want to make stuff for my channel that mixes game dev critical thinking, creativity with the play of games in general. This channel is a bit of an influence. Really, that's so lovely that you consider this channel an influence of any kind. I find those topics really fascinating too. And it's something that I specifically like to look at with my videos, obviously more so than the streams because they're scripted. The videos are scripted, I mean. Because, yeah, I find that intersection between the craft, the artistry of making games, and the ways in which games can allow people to be creative or you know, whether it be creative or explore worlds that they couldn't otherwise, or to express themselves. That's something that's pretty unique to video games, I think, in many ways. So I find that connection so interesting. Boxy and Tubes both mentioned cold ones. I meant a cold drink rather than a hot drink. Not cracking open a cold one. Okay, so this needs to be B. And let's have another look at the video.
I connected to the player.
Oh, I did spot that these flags can all be disconnected, actually. You see them? Where is it?
P here. Oh yeah. So actually, exit B is...
There, look. The flag code is still in place but disconnected, so that means that we won't be utilizing it here, I guess. So let's chop those connections now. So it more closely matches Zert's setup. Just to aid us as we go along. Keep watching.
I connected to the player. Or
Connected to the player. Okay. Ba-do-ba-do-ba-do. Oh, you're gonna let me unplug this so I can connect to the right thing? No. That sounds amazing, Riddy. I think any idea that inspires you to create is always worth pursuing. Oh, do I have too much connected to this person? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do. What did Zert have connected to this person? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 things. So, I gotta unplug something. I think that's connected. That's connected. That's connected because it's the camera. There is definitely not 3 things connected up. Oh, right. Because in this version, there wasn't the player texture yet. Because, yeah, it doesn't look like anything's been disconnected. Oh, hang on. What is... Oh, that's not connecting to the player. 1, 2. I'm just going to move this for a second so I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that is 8. So it says, or maybe you can connect to one of the texture boxes. Oh, right. Could I attach it to the UFO that follows? This one here? These ones are full too. Okay, maybe we come back to this. We'll leave this down here for the moment. By the way, I'm pretty sure... we can just ditch these node on in the middle for now. That was a portion of what was being done here. And also... we have our free slide here that I want to connect up. Well, just add an object in the middle, no? For example, between the texture and the player. So like a little... Also, hey, Bari. Good to see you. I hope you're well. So like, just put a box here. Okay, let's try it. And then we'll go into here with this. Maybe. Maybe. Yes, also I should probably do these teleports while I'm here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Where am I? Oh, Boris says, well, I will put all the textures to the box so the player has more free connections. Right. Okay. Okay. At least as a temporary solution, that will free us up some. What was I doing? Oh, yes. Teleport entrances. And I think this is going to be our golf ball here. Oh, is that not... Oh, that is our football. That is our football. That is our football. Okay. Chief says, Mousie's micro mission looking real different. That is a game that... And to be clear, this is not an indication that development will resume on Mousie's micro mission. But that is a game, just in an abstract way, that I have many times thought that I would like to go back to, because I loved that concept a lot. Having a 3D environment that you interact with that then launches into a 2D game. Yes, with Dr. Ratty. Burba. And that's probably our golf ball, but we'll check that later. Okay, I kind of got a little bit off track there. So let's look at Zert's video again and see what else we can concretely do. Hey JD, good to see you.
Exit B is connected to the...
Okay, so that's what we just did. We're not going straight into the player because we had less connections.
So this big circle here is the teleporter for the soccer ball.
Ah, so this teleporter, let's make it visible and we'll go cylinder here. And it's going to be for football. Let me just have a little wander around. Let's get rid of that video and see if that cylinder is connected to us. It is! Perfecto! Don't worry too much about the fact that the critter appears to be stuck to the underside of the stage. We'll fix that once we get to it. But we now have our giant teleporter connected to Telfie. And of course we have our sprites. The walk animation looking beautiful. Okay. One small step at a time here. Bring the video back up.
And when the soccer ball's in range and I click somewhere, it activates or it teleports.
Oh, those are going to be teleport C. Thing. Which is not set up currently. Oh, thank you, JD. I'm glad that you like the sprites.
The soccer ball.
Soccer ball, golf ball. Where's golf ball? Where's golf ball? I know you can't see this. I'm just setting golf ball onto that teleport B entrance.
To exit B, which is where the cursor there is. Now, why did I?
You just have a look at the cursor situation here. Okay, the cursor seems to be behaving. Whoa. Okay, so instantly teleports the critter currently. That's fine. When I say fine, it's probably not fine, but so it says you need to make the critter follow the ball first before playing with the teleporters. Yeah. I'm trying to think how to best kind of intersect the logic here, or intercept, excuse me. I think there was a wrong input on the up-down of the critter. You mean here? Andrew Jr. said it would be cool if someone could do a game in a game without a game swap, similar to how NES games worked in the original Animal Crossing. I'm sure that is... There's no reason why that would not be technically possible, I don't think. Sure that could be achieved. What are those signals coming from the left going into the critter? This logic up here. Oh, is this the old recall logic? And the other one. Yeah, actually all four of those are coming from this. I think those can all be deleted. Shall I just disconnect them for the moment just to be safe? Bring that over here. I'm just going to go back to the video for a minute and see what the next aspect of the video will talk us through.
I have to do this. So this is to fix another bug. So later on, when we have two critters, for example, we have two critters here, like the golf ball and the soccer ball. You can see here.
Oh, okay. So that's moving on to the cursor stuff. So we probably need to go back to the start and review what we've done so far and what we haven't done. but I might actually just refer to the text version briefly to see if there's anything there that's kind of like low-hanging fruit that we can do. So I'm just going to quickly read through what Zert mentioned in his text post. And let's see if any of this can be checked off yet. Probably not, because we did a very surface level pass in our first attempt here. So Zert says, a step-by-step way of implementing my solution would be 1. Get rid of all previous follower logic of the critter. Make it just follow a fancy object at all times. The ball in my example. Okay, so that's what we need to do. And that's actually what Zert, live in chat Zert, was suggesting as well. So, there's our ball. And let's bring this onto the stage for a second. So currently, it seems to go straight to the cursor. It is very connected to the cursor currently. So why is that? Let's have a look. So our ball is connected to a teleport object entrance C, which do we have a teleport exit C somewhere? Oops. A. What happens if you try to make 2? Does it show you where the other one is? No, but the fact that we can make one means that there isn't one currently. So it's not the teleport exits, I don't think. What else is it connected to? It's connected to this teleport object entrance E. And we do have... Oh no, that's a B. Is there a teleport exit B? Sorry, exit E. How did I get the gear in the text object? That's from the like the unmakeable glyphs code that Voxy and Bari made. There is an E somewhere, so where is E? That's B. That's B. Exit. There's E exit. So there's E entrance. That shouldn't be doing anything right now. Oh wait. It is connected to fancy object golf ball. The big teleporter should only be set to the critter objects. I think it is. I mean like this, sir? Newt in chat says, is anyone else like, wowie, everyone is so clever at GBD because I am always so astounded by how creative and technical you are. It's so awesome. I know that every day I am astounded by how talented everyone is at making GBG stuff. I felt especially strongly that way this week because I've been working on the GBG Direct and I've been fortunate enough to get a early glimpse at some of the exciting projects that people are working on at the moment. And that really, really hammered home how skilled everybody is at GBG. I actually just need to take a very quick break, chat. I want to fill up my water. So I'm going to be throwing the drink break screen up on screen. And I will be back very soon. I'll just dash and grab some more water. So there we go. There's the drink break screen. If you're also in need of a drink or a snack or just want to stretch your legs, this is the time to do it. I'll be back here in about 2 minutes time. So don't be afraid. You won't be missing anything while I'm gone. Okay, catch you in just a few. Hey chat, I'm back. I caved and decided to go for a hot drink. Even despite the heat. I couldn't resist it. The call of the boiled water was too strong. Let me just take a look through the messages while I was gone. So it says the X and Z input of the critter should be ball location minus critter location. The X and Z inputs of the critter. Ball location minus critter location. Should this free slide be connected to the ball instead? I'm just having a look at the video, seeing if I can catch a glimpse of it.
You should tell it.
You won't be able to see this on screen just now.
Oh wait. So in this example, so
I think it I'm gonna have to refer back to that in a second. Y input should be player Y minus critter Y. Y should be Y minus should be player Y minus critter Y. Make the critter UFO visible to help understand what's causing bugs. Good shout. I hope you have a great sleep, Zer. Thank you for all of your help, both during this stream today and earlier this week and earlier today. It is so appreciated. Let me take a sip of my hot water. The inputs of the UFO. Oh! Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to check these then. Right now we have the freeze slide as one input. We have the teleport, the E-teleport as one. We have the critter speed as one. And then we have location sensor here and the touch sensor here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the beginning of the video, and we're going to go over what we've done so far with the fine-tooth comb and kind of keep our eyes on the periphery of some of the stuff that we've done to see if there's any connections that we particularly need to pay attention to here. So, screen back on. Start at the top here.
hello there. So this is just an explanation video of what I did for
Why are the captions being so weird?
build of the platforms game. So just to show it off again, like here's me commanding the critter to move where I want it to be, where I click, and then so make it move to myself. And then when it detects it's above ground, it immediately snaps its position and becomes a block. So, how did I achieve this? So basically, I made actually a lot of changes to the code you had before. So right now, well, I still have the UFO here, but the UFO is on its own. And remember, at the end of your last stream
Wait, 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 wait.
reported.
We got a glimpse there of
An alien?
not of an alien.
But the UFO is
We got a glimpse of. Was that a person touch sensor? That was beautifully timed. Person touch sensor and a flag. Okay, so wait. So I think all of this can be disconnected from this. Because that was the stuff that Zert said could be deleted. And when we saw this stuff in the very top right hand corner of the screen, I know I've got the video on top. This stuff here that I'm kind of just displaying in the very top left corner is the stuff that Zert said could be deleted. So you know what, let's just ditch it now. So that means we now have a person touch sensor connected to the critter, plus this flag, which appears to still be connected up to what it was originally connected to, which is the cursor increases when something. So let's keep that there because that's what Zert has up there as well. Whoops. Okay, and let's keep watching.
on its own. And remember, at the end of your last stream, you connected a teleporter to it.
Sorry, I don't know why the captions keep flying up. Being so
To
strange.
teleport the model to
And
it.
they go right down to the bottom.
So now I changed it to a free slider instead. So the UFO is completely.
Okay, I'm just going to take a minute and check the free slide is connected up correctly.
An alien?
So yeah, these are coming from this, which we do not need anymore. And we need to see what this map's connected to, and we need to see what this not's outputting to. So let's have another look back through the wide shot here. Okay, so it doesn't look
The
currently
UFO
like we've
here.
got a
But the UFO
clear glimpse of that.
is on its own. And remember, at the end of your last stream, you connected a teleporter to it to teleport the model to it at all times. So now I changed it to a free slider instead. So the UFO is completely separate. And then I connected the location sensor to it. And then here's a free slider connected to 00. The free slider just follows the location input of the UFO. So basically, whatever's attached to this free slider just follows where this UFO goes. And that's this critter here. So yeah. Next, how do I control the critter now? So before, we had a lot of systems. Like, there's one system that there's some flags to activate when it should follow the player, or it should follow the cursor, or several other modes. So here I simplified it a bit and just set it to just one thing. So right now, the critter just always follows a specific object. So in this case, this critter follows a soccer ball. So wherever the soccer ball goes, it'll just go to it. And you can see that the logic to the UFO is much simpler. So right now I'm sending. So this is the location.
Okay, wait. I think this is going to be our first clear look at what that knot is
Clear,
connected
so-
to.
Right now I'm sending...
It's connected up to the... What is that? Is that the trigger from 0? And like frame by framing. Yeah, it's to the trigger from 0. So, in the corner of my screen, you see this trigger from 0. I'm going to connect that to this knot here. Additionally, we want to know what is feeding the map up there. Let's keep watching.
So this is the
Aha, it looks like it's the flag. This flag right here. Okay, so now this section should be all connected up, but we don't know the values. So we're going to have to figure those out. But right now we're just worried about the physical connections. So that's something that we can do as we watch through this video.
location. This is the location of the soccer ball. And I'm sending the inverse of its location. So I'm just telling it. So say if you so like right now I'm sending the location of the soccer ball minus its location. So basically it just goes to whatever location the soccer ball is. Now how do I make it do the difference?
Shall we see if we actually have any functioning teleportation yet on the soccer ball or the golf ball? Okay, no, we have bigger issues, quite frankly. So the football is teleporting blocks, which it should not be. Where is it? There. Teleport object entrance should not be teleporting blocks. I think that should only be football. Wait, one of them is still... Okay, the football's got physics. Okay, so right now the UFO, which is our critter logic, heads straight to 0, 0. And does not follow. And does not teleport, because our teleport just grabs the critter model, not the critter behavior. So where is the critter model and why is it attached to a cursor? Well, this is our critter model. And let's see if we can unpick why it's being teleported. So there's a teleport entrance B, which B is being used by the cursor. So that explains that. So do we want this to be B? Probably not. Let me look back at the video and see if we can catch a glimpse of what this is. Insert setup. So that's gone. That teleporter is straight up gone here. That makes sense. Oops, I probably should have paused /game. Yeah, so we can delete that. Now let's have another look. I'll get rid of the... Lemon1 says, why does that still work? No Guy says, I don't think you're playing Robo Deluxe. It still works because it's always there in the background. I just pause it on and off for the relevant stream. Let me just do that real quick. I forgot to do it earlier. There we go. I don't think that will work anymore. Boris says, on Zert's video, there is a moving object, a sphere, I think, which is fed from some maps. Sorry, I haven't followed the code. Okay, let me have a look. I think you're probably referring to this one here. So let's just place that in. At least then we've got it. Hey Doug, welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. Choop says, sorry I've been on and off. How's it coming along? Absolutely no need to apologize for dropping in and out, Choops. I think that's often the case for most people. We're making some kind of progress. I'm connecting things that should be connected. I'm disconnecting things that shouldn't. I'm correcting teleport entrances and exits. Hopefully it all comes together. But I really won't know until I know. So yeah, these are kind of two mystery ones here right now. I can see in the video that this location sensor is feeding the up-down of that UFO. And let's see if we get a better glimpse of what's feeding
Set it to
this
just one thing.
here.
So right now, the critter just always follows a specific object. So in this case, this critter follows a soccer ball. So wherever the soccer ball goes, it'll just go to it. And you can see the
Is that on the player, do you think? No. Suspect. Yeah, it's something down in the corner. Referring to the... Where is it? Connection coming from there. Down that way. We've also got two... okay. So these will be feeding... Let me get rid of the window a sec. These will be feeding the X and Z of that free slide. or sorry, moving object. So I think it is literally just like this. Oh my goodness, come on. Let's just do it this way. But then I'm still not sure what that connection, the physical connection, is to. So we're going to bring the video back up and keep watching and see if we can keep our eye out for what that physical connection is to the moving sphere.
Logic to the UFO is much simpler. So right now I'm sending. So this is the location.
Aha! It is the. It is the soccer ball. Which has those 3 connections plus this one. Oops, not that one. That one. Okay. Sorry, let me just show the correct screen here. The soccer ball now has the connection to the moving sphere and these additional connections up here. Let me just see what happens. Oh no, not the fluff ball reveal. Ugh, lots of breaking. We did get one teleport. Okay, but that is progress, believe it or not. We do need to work out what's fueling this location sensor.
This is the location of the soccer ball. And I'm sending.
Yeah, zoom in nice and close. We need to see this location sensor. Okay. Put the subtitles up there. So the Y of the location sensor is going to the up down of the UFO. That makes sense. And that's it, actually. That's the only thing that should be connected to this location sensor, it seems. However, there are an additional 2 connections going to the forward, backwards, and the left, right of the UFO that are coming from somewhere down here. So let me just scrub back a little.
Sending. So this is the location. This is the location of the soccer ball. And I'm sending the invert.
Wait, one more time. So that's coming from, oops, the X and Z of this location sensor. So I just connected the X of this location sensor, which is the location of the football, to the forward, backwards. And I also need to connect the Z, the left and right. So I think that UFO's connections, pink connections, should match. Let me just bring the video up. Do we get a nice close-up
Now I'm
of this?
sending So this is the location. This is the location of the soccer ball, and I'm sending the inverse of it.
So that's my UFO there, and we're detecting against Zert's UFO here. So let's count. The up down, which is the bottom one here, has 2. That matches the video. The left right has 2 that match the video, and the forward back have 2 that match the video. Then we have 4 blue connections, which, at least in the directions they are going off to, match. So I feel pretty good about the UFO's connections, actually. At least for the moment. Bori in chat says, properties of the moving object, maybe non-solid and all those things. The moving object, right. Good shout. Let me check. Okay. Ooh, that is a good sign. We actually got some proper teleportation happening there briefly. We're still not getting the UFO following the football, but it went off down here for some reason. So let's just assess once more what just happened. So the model broke, but we don't need to worry about that. Can I teleport quick enough? Something's teleporting itself. I think that's what's happening there. So I'm not clicking anything right now. The UFO and the cursor seem to be flicking back and forth. So I think one thing that might be going wrong is probably the connection points of this. I'm gonna guess it might want to be center as a start. Oh, sorry, this one. The fluff ball with the giant legs is ridiculous. How are the UFO and the fluff ball connected right now? It's via this free slide, isn't it? Well... Yeah, let's refer back to the video for a bit and see if we can spot anything else that's obviously missing.
Its location. So I'm just telling it. So say if you if you do that, so like right now I'm sending the location of the soccer ball minus its location. So basically it just goes to whatever location the soccer ball is. Now how do I make it do the different modes, like following the cursor and following the player? Basically all I did was just, instead of
So I suppose that's actually something we do not have functioning at all, which is the follow the player thing, right? Because by spawn into the game, we never have that track the player. And that's the golf ball. So what is the golf ball doing right now? The golf ball's not attached to anything. Do we currently have a C teleport exit? No. So let's refer to Zert's video again and see if we can find that C teleport exit. I'm guessing it must be attached to the player. Sorry for the screen shift there. Right, so I'm looking for a C teleport exit.
have the UFO here, but the
Is it that? There. That's an A for me. Has changed it to a C?
now, well, I still have the UFO here and support the model of your last time.
You need to get a close enough look.
Completely separate of the slider instead.
Wait, was it there?
So the UFO is completely separate. The slider was the location it was where it is. Or follow it and just follow. And you can see that the UFO
Wait.
is much simpler. So
It's still an A. It's still an A. So
right now I'm sending.
wait, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Hey Disco, this is a video of Zert's that I am referencing for the complete rewiring of everything. I definitely recommend you go and check out the pinned post in the Project Platforms thread on the Discord where I talk about what we're attempting today. Let's have a look and see if this helped us at all. Does not seem that the golf ball has tracked to us, which is what I was expecting to see here. So let's see, do we have this set up to... It does teleport the golf ball. We need that to be golf ball and football. Ha. Fluffball on stilts is so funny, Tubes. It's a complete accident too, and it cracks me up every time. Right, let's see if we can work out this behavior. So there is a golf ball with a teleport entrance attached to it. That teleport entrance teleports golf balls. So that should be teleporting the golf ball. However, it's set up for Z L to trigger the teleport. So Okay. That's why the golf ball wasn't following. But why is it not also teleporting the football? Is the football visible? Football is visible. So that's encasing the football. I'm surprised it's not teleporting it. Yeah, so I've kind of got the recall working of the ball, although it does only seem to work intermittently. Clicking to recall, clicking to send out, clicking to recall. It's funny, there's a delay there. Oh, thank you, someone. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Okay. This is... We are getting somewhere. Slowly, one step at a time. Closing in on a somewhat functional, at least fancy object, cursor and recall system. But it's patchy right now. I don't know what's going on with our football. So maybe let's just have a look at the video reference again. So... the player character's name is Telfy Tubes. So I know you can't see it right now, but I'm just comparing. Comparing what we've got here. In terms of connections, mine and Zert's in this area are looking very similar. I don't know what the bit is. I'm sorry. That's completely blown over my head. Okay. Next thing I want to check. I suppose let's think about what teleport B is actually doing. So B is connected to the cursor. And right now, B should teleport football and golf ball. Oh, I see tubes. So our giant follow teleport teleports both the football and the golf ball. I don't think it actually should. I think it should probably only teleport the football. Right, okay. Oh no, this Tubes wasn't spamming at all. Ethelson, don't worry about what other people are doing. I'll jump in and moderate if needs be. Tubes, please do not feel self-conscious about any of your messages. You're doing great. The Bin, hello, welcome to the stream. The Bin asks, do you think you'll get the game done by the end of June? I'm certainly nervous about it, because this is by far the most complex setup that I have worked on, and I'm very much relying on the logic here for this system that Zert presented, and I'm attempting to implement it here myself. Okay, let's have a look at Zert's written instructions one more time. I'm conscious that I don't want to start moving on to the grid alignment stuff for the cursor, because that's its whole own system, and right now we're not even getting the critter to follow / command. So, get rid of all previous follower logic for the critter. Have we done that effectively? Let's see. That's the critter 2 stuff, isn't it? I guess let's just ditch all of this because I don't want it to be complicating things. And similarly, let's just get rid of that. Give ourselves a bit of a clean slate in some of these areas. And you know what? While I'm on a roll, let's just get rid of these bits. We only really need our testing area for now. And let's give Disco a shout out with the giant T here on our programming screen. Okay. I'm going to get my notepad and I'm going to write down, as I understand it, the teleport entrances and exits that we have and what their function is. Because I think if I can start to better grasp each of those, then that might help us troubleshoot here a little bit. So we have a football. The football has a teleport C entrance. Football. Connected. Teleport entrance. Let's see. Okay. Golf ball. Teleport. Entrance. C. So there are 2 C teleport entrances. One which has the football connected, and one which has the golf ball connected. Over here, also connected to the football, is a teleport entrance E. Just bear with me as I write these down. E, okay. And what does this teleport? Football. Makes sense, I suppose. Next, we have teleport entrance B, which is connected to the player. Via a box, but a player nonetheless. The player nonetheless. And this teleport entrance teleports the football and is triggered by clicking on the screen. So that's like a command function. What other teleporters can I find? There's not going to be any here in the animation. We do have a B exit. So it's our first exit here. Teleport exit B. And that's connected to what? Let's see. That's connected to the cursor. I begs it, exactly, Mr. O. So, let's think about what we've just outlined. We have a teleport entrance on the player. That's our giant teleport entrance here. And we have a teleport exit on the cursor. And the teleport entrance is teleporting footballs. I think it probably also needs to teleport golf balls. But I might be wrong on that. Let's just have a little look. Not sure currently. Let's keep exploring for more entrances and exits. Okay, we have another one here. Teleport object exit C. And this is connected to the player, if I remember correctly. It is. So let me note this one down to I believe so, Mr. O. That is my understanding. The giant one is for recalls, I believe. C. Okay, so this player, this teleport exit C is connected to the player. We do have two teleport entrances, and one is for the golf. One is connected to the golf ball, and one is connected to the football. So what is this here? That's this one, I think, that we can see on top. Let's just change the shape. Let's go sphere just for a moment. Yeah, so that's this one here. And let's keep looking at teleports. So we have another one here. Teleport entrance A. This is our first A teleporter that I've seen. So teleport entrance A is connected to what? Also connected to the player. And it is teleporting the person. Ah, so this is for the level switching stuff. So I think this is kind of irrelevant right now. I think that's simply designed to teleport us over here. Okay, good to know. Even when something's irrelevant to what you're currently doing, having it as a known quantity can be helpful. Let's continue looking for entrances and exits. So I see one over here connected to the critter UFO. It's a E exit. So I'm going to note this one down. Teleport. Exit E. Okay, so let's see if we can kind of reverse engineer this one. This E exit, we found an E entrance before. It was connected to the football. This one here. But it's only triggered when it receives a not signal from the touching the ground and on start. So I'm guessing that's more to do with the bridge mode stuff, perhaps. Okay, continuing on. I have a level select up here, which is A. I'm going to note this down just for completeness' sake. So this is connected to why do we need all of these? Okay. I don't know why there's a bunch of hinges on this. I'm sure it's for a reason. Let's just say broadly level select. It's connected to teleport, exit, A. So, from my notes, we've now accounted for an entrance and an exit for A, which is level switching stuff, so that's not really relevant here. An entrance and an exit for B, which is connected to the player and the cursor. C's, which are connected to the fancy objects. And E, which is connected to the UFO and a fancy object. Is there anything else? In fact, let me just quickly make an exit, because that will help me know which exits we've got in play. A, B, C, and E And that's what we've got down. So I think our teleporter numbers, like literally just our physical exits, match what Zert's setup is. Welcome back, Voxy. I hope you're enjoying your delicious roasted and salted peanuts. That sounds like a great snack. Also, I just had a look through Mr. Owen Disco's chat there. Remember, the system that we're trying to replicate is functioning. The system that Zert showed off is functioning. So right now, I really don't want to deviate from that. I'm simply trying to recreate it. So the issues that we're having right now will arise from either connections that I haven't made or I've incorrectly made, or settings that I haven't matched in certain functions. Because we've got the video reference and the written reference, I'm trying to go through as methodically as I can, but you know, obviously due to time, Zert doesn't go through every single one of those in the video. So I'm trying my best to approximate the ones that I can. Oh, no need to apologize at all. I was just letting you know the reason why I'm not following that train of thought just this moment. Yeah, I know that Zert hasn't shared the code, because obviously then we'd be able to go in and check the actual node on values, but I was hoping I'd be able to do it with just the video. I think we're going to have another restart on this video now that we've made these changes, and see if there's any knowledge, any nuggets of knowledge that jump out. With this latest pass.
Hello there. So this is just an explanation video of what I did for this build of the platforms game. So just to show it off again, here's me commanding the critter to move where I want it to be, where I click, and then this will make it move for myself. And then
Okay, wait.
the critter show it off. This build of the platforms game. So just to show it off again, here's me command.
So when we click, we should be teleporting the football to the click location. Is that happening currently? I don't believe so. Well, I think we might be, but it's just inside that ball. So it kind of gets hijacked by the... UFO, I think. Is teleport E? Grabbing the football, it is. Okay, so let me just disable that for a second. Disable that, I lose the ability to call the football at all. So is my clicking just coincidentally moving the football? Teleporter on the UFO should not be moving the football, though, I don't think. Unless my logic up there is incorrectly... Let me make this one a sphere for a second. Telvi is dancing. Yeah, that needs to be fixed later on, but for now. Look, I do manage to teleport it occasionally. I need to recall first? Oh, I wish I knew what that teleporter was set to. Only football. It's only golf ball. And this is football and golf ball. Okay, let's just keep watching.
Handling the critter move where I want it to be, right click. And then also make it move to myself. And then when the text is off ground, it immediately snaps in position and becomes a block. So, how did I achieve this? Basically, I made actually a lot of changes to what we had before. So right now, well, I still have the UFO here.
Oh, the UFO is teleporting. UFO teleporting the ball because it's falling off the stage and it's trying to set as bridge. Ah, that's this. So if this is not, so this is the like check for box. So check the floor. Seems to be. Ugh. Okay. Let's keep watching.
But the UFO is on its own. And remember, at the end of your last stream, you connected a teleporter to it to teleport the model to it a couple times. So now I changed it to a free slider instead. So the UFO is completely separate. And then I connected the laser sensor to it. And then here's a free slider connected to 00. The free slider just follows the location input of the UFO. So basically, whatever's attached to this free slider just follows where this UFO goes. And that's this critter here. So yeah. Next, how do I
Bori says, I'm back. Just going to say something similar to Mr. O. Try to put more floor to avoid the critter going out to help you testing. Okay. Let's duplicate this. Thank you, Mr. O and Bori, for the mention of the UFO trying to bridge mode. Okay, so here's what's happening right now. So the critter is down here doing something by itself, and if I click, it will eventually teleport the ball, but the critter is going out there, which would to me indicate that our inputs are wrong. Because as soon as I clicked, it did start moving, but in the wrong direction. Which needs to be addressed. But also, if I press the recall button, I can recall the golf ball. But not the football. Okay, I'm going to bring the video back up. If there's anything else I can learn.
Control the critter now. So before, like, we had a lot of systems. Like, there's one system that there's some flags to activate when you should follow the player, or you should follow.
That's the golf ball and the football.
The other modes. So here I
on the player. Did you see?
And just set it to just one thing. So right now, the critter just always follows a specific object. So in this case, this critter follows a soccer ball. So
okay, that's a really critical piece of information. Obviously, it should sound obvious, but the critter needs to follow the soccer ball. Right now, we have not got that behavior at all. Man, this has stumped me. Hey, Mr. O. Mr. O thinks they know the problem. All right, let's hear it. Are you using the classic subtraction to go to the location? This is... Looks like my connection reverted. Okay, so let me show you what I'm using. There's the UFO, and there is a location sensor connected to the UFO. The location sensor's outputs are go through this inversion and into the input, but they also go to this free slide which moves the model around, if I understand this correctly. There are also these connections that go to the critter that come from this location sensor that's connected to the football. You know what? Actually, while I'm here, let me just take a very short detour to upload this code so folks have got a reference if they're trying to follow along, because it's been a while since I uploaded a build. So let me just rename this so it's slightly less busted of a name. Oops, didn't mean to copy it. let's just call it Zert build 1. There you go. And let's share that. I'll also make a note of this on the pinned message in the thread, so if anyone's coming to this slightly after the fact. There's the code. G005 0VH FRW. Let me just double check I've got that correct in the Discord message. G005 0VH FRW. There it is. It's updated on the pinned post too. I also think I might just take a second because I got a pee. So while folks are having a look at that, I will quickly use this opportunity to also grab myself some water, and I'll be back very, very soon. So let me bring up the drink break, and I will catch you in just a moment. Hey chat, I'm back. I grabbed myself another drink. I also grabbed myself a biscuit. I think I need some fuel. Hope everyone is doing well. Did you grab yourself a drink or a snack? I'm gonna eat this before I proceed. A biscuit. That's right, Voxy. It's a Biscoff. I feel like Biscoff is really a really divisive biscuit. I enjoy a Biscoff. I feel like not everyone does. I feel like they are super sweet though. You kind of only want to have one. Yeah, Voxy agrees. Newt does not like Biscoff. It's too biscuit flavor. Yeah, it is a very, very specific, like, sweet, slightly malty flavor. I don't really know how I would describe it. Mr. O says, Dom, chum, pal, buddy. I think I found it. Wait, Biscoff's Belgian? I did not know that, Voxy. I knew it was European, but I didn't know... Well, I knew it was probably not American. That was my guess. Lemon One loves Biscoff. All right. I'm ready. I'm fueled. I've got water. I've had a bathroom break. Newt says, y'all have been outnumbered. So let's head back into Zerp build 1 and see if Mr. O can help. I've heard that name before, Voxy. I didn't realize they were the same thing. The little running fluff ball is so funny to me. I'm a little accidental fluff ball critter. Exactly, a post-bathroom lock-in. Oh, I really love Telfie. Guys, look. Let's just ignore everything else. Okay, Mr. O says, grab the location sensor of the football. Location sensor of the football. Okay. That's this one. Put it near the UFO for the creature, and you should see the problem. Okay. So, like, here? Was it that something broke? Oh, that might just be the model breaking off. Zoom in on the programming screen. X and Z. Are these the wrong way around? I think that connection that's breaking, by the way, Voxy, is just the model itself, the critter model snapping off.
Reading comprehension.
I'm pretty sure this is the issue, or at least an issue. Right, okay, Mr. O has confirmed. Okay. Let's try again. Ooh, that's a very good sign. We're not getting that immediate flying. Okay. That's a start. Thank you very much, Mr. O. That is a degree of progress here. Okay, so what's next? Let's get this scooted back over here. I suppose it'd be nice to just figure out why our model is immediately snapping. It's kind of a secondary issue, but I maybe can investigate this. Hey, Lua, welcome to the stream. Need to be near the UFO for the football to teleport for some reason. Yes, so that was what Bori was mentioning before. And that's to do with the size of the teleport, I believe. Which I think could be resolved with a massive teleporter. Potentially. I'm less concerned about that in the long term. I'm more concerned why it's not functioning even when I am close. Okay. Can't seem to get the football and the golf ball to come to me. Which it should be doing. Put music back on. I turned it off when I went back to the program or the free programming screen. I'm just gonna check something real quick. I wonder why that doesn't track me. I believe when it's recalled, it should track. Yeah, but evidently that's not... So, Mr. O points out that when two objects are connected to the same exit, they battle which one is being teleported, and it looks like the golf ball here has priority. But I think that's being utilized by Xert in their version in a way that is beneficial. Sorry for the PTSD chat. Choops, sorry. Not all of chat. I'm feeling very much at a loss here. I was really hoping that I'd be able to decipher this successfully. Hmm. Let me have a look at the written message again. Get rid of all previous follower logic of the critter. Make it just follow a fancy object at all times. The ball in my example. So I think we have that in principle happening right now. Remove the teleporters from the critter. Hook it up to a free slide connected to 000 instead. And send the UFO location to that to make the model follow the UFO. I feel like that should be working, but it breaks. As in, the connection snaps. And I wonder how we can... I wonder whether that can be resolved. I'm very curious to know what Freddy is referring to, because I don't know. Tube says, oh yeah, Dumb, now that I have you here live, what was your intention of typing Daisy and then leaving that one mustard stream? I mean, I think it's very clear. Dumb, could you make the main cube of the model not movable to see how it looks before breaking? Main cube of the model... this one? I think it's underneath the world. That's pretty good, Foxy. Just saw the model fly across the... across the floor over here. Move the critter closer to the box itself. Oof. Hang on, let me
Reading comprehension.
do it the other way around. Didn't seem to help. Oh, let me just turn solid off right now. Okay, that helped. But it's a less than ideal solution here. I'm thinking that this won't be able to move because it's too high up now. Oh, there we go. Seems like I'm completely incapable of consistently teleporting the football. UFO's Y location. Plus 30? Sorry, plus 0.30. The bird does not explode anymore. Tubes, don't sound so sad. That's almost positive thing. Ugh, chat, I'm close to calling it quits for today because I feel like I just don't have sufficient knowledge at this stage. And I think what I might need to do is off stream, just like absolutely like scrutinize the information that's available. And I feel like I've been doing that already on stream for now, and it's not necessarily going to be the most exciting programming. There's going to need to be an extracurricular stream tomorrow. So here's how I was hoping things would go. I was hoping that today and tomorrow would be sufficient to get the functions where they need to be. And that Friday could just be making it look pretty and getting the actual layouts down. I've made less progress here than I was hoping to, because I was hoping to basically be one-to-one to Zert's functionality here, which in itself is still not fully featured, because it doesn't handle more than one critter yet. Can we see more of the sprite animation walk around? I can certainly wander while I'm chatting. So I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to be so real right now. I think I'm going to use some of my evening now to continue the work on the GBG Direct. Because yes, there is more to do. And if I'm dev daying tomorrow and Friday, I should try and give myself as much progress as possible on that direct. Because otherwise, I think what I'll be doing is basically poking around in stuff that we've already looked at for another couple of hours. Whereas I could be doing that off stream. What I'm going to do is probably upload this as Zert Build 2 and have I already shared this one? I think I did, right? Yeah. Okay, so the 04 build for today, which is the old logic with the sprite system, is up on my programmer ID. So let's edit this one as Zert Build 2, just so you have the absolute latest one. So let's share that. And I will update the codes on the thread in due course. In fact, let me do that now. So that is G004 J5N 04L. And I'm going to delete the other Xert build just so there's no confusion. Okay, so just at the risk of repeating myself here, 2506, 2504 is the most recent build using the old logic. And then we've alternately got the Xert build 2, which is my progress towards implementing the Xert logic. Choops was asking for my full game list. I don't have to show you my full game list. Pretty much everything here you have seen before. There's nothing top secret left. So, got my normal, everybody's got them games here. Got Mousie's Micro Mission, which has not been tweaked at all since it was shown off in that dev vlog thing. The unfinished alpha of Hall of Legends. The Sky Sphere experiment. This was never meant to be a game. It was just an experiment for whether or not I could do some skybox shenanigans for what was Constructopia at the time. The MCM Community Toolkit, which is out of date. The layered texture test, which was me trying to figure out how to connect stuff to certain phases of an object. The earliest build of Constructopia. Not Freddy asked, when are we getting that Mousy template on GBG shop? Unless I was ever to update this, never. Because I don't think it's worth having as it stands currently, because it's out of sync with the actual MCM, and I think that might cause issues. This was a game that my nephew made. Project Radar was a... I don't know whether I ever explicitly mentioned what this is. I might have even showed it on stream, but it was a project that I built early on, which was never intended to be a game. It was intended to be a kind of showcase of a technique for a tutorial video. Foxy says, hearing Dom talk about these in the past tense makes me sad. Sorry, Voxy and chat. I'm being very, very careful with my phrasing to not give anybody any false hope around any of these specific projects. Because I don't want to either accidentally give the impression that like any of these are actively in development, or that I plan on imminently working on any of these. So Project Radar was meant to be for a tutorial. I wasn't able to get something that I think would have been completely possible for somebody who was more skilled at GBG than I am to do, which was honestly not even essential to this project. But it just took me so long to do it that eventually it got to the point where I was like, people already know how to do this, and I don't think it's worth making a tutorial for this now. I'll just show it. I'm pretty sure I've shown this on stream before. So the idea of this was to talk about how you could do reflectivity, or the appearance of reflectivity in a GBG game. So can you see here, underneath this orange cube, we have a reflection of the orange cube. And when I push the orange cube around, the reflection of the orange cube follows it. This also applies to lights and static objects within the scene with a kind of like more severe angle producing more visible reflections. The thing that I wasn't able to achieve, which really annoyed me, was having this sphere with a light source also have a reflection, because I wasn't able to get the rotation working exactly for Eddie. Whoa, I set a crazy jump for this. Obviously this thing has its limitations, so I'm using the old trick of replicating a version of the geometry under the ground. So like, for example, that light source that you see here when I press the interactive light button is just new geometry under there. So for a very dense environment, this would require double the node on. I think this is over here because, oh yeah, I know why that's there. I think that's my mirror test. Hang on. Where's the player? Is that what that is? Yeah. So obviously I'm not mirroring the person node on right now, but I also just wanted to test what it would look like to mirror a space. And part of the way that I would achieve this was by darkening the geometry in the mirrored half. So these are untextured currently, but you could imagine having a kind of pale brick texture on there, and then this darkened version over here. I'm also not darkening, I guess, the ground sufficiently. So this kind of requires quite a lot of manual tweaking. Oh, and this was also, I was going to see if I could get like puddles working, where I only have like very small sections of otherwise solid floors being reflective. But you can see that this basically got, hey Rens, this basically got some ways there. And like I said, this was never intended to be an actual game. This was just meant to be a demonstration of this technique for GBG, and I basically missed my window on it. Yeah, definitely Voxy. Agreed. There are limitations to this. There are things you would need to keep in mind when you are working on it. But I think this is some fun tech that I would love to see people utilize. So that's that. What else is there? Custom Spaceman is out and up on GBG Shop. My Poltergeist is out and up on GBG Shop. The Frog Path of Fear demo is not on GBG Shop, because I think it would need more work. I've paused /game currently. MCM Prologue bonus is on GBG Shop. That's just the little animated intro that I made for MCM. And this is a second code that you can use on MCM as a little intro if you wish to, but it's completely optional. It's also kind of jank. So that will boot me into Mousie's Cheese Maze. What else? Hey, Mr. Decina, good to see you. This I'm not putting on GBG Shop because it's not worth it. This is just my local copy of the Switch input prompts. This is just my, excuse me, local copy of the mod template. I'm going to show this. So do you remember how I was asking lots of questions about how you do stuff for before June? I was like, how do I do this? How do I do this? It's because I wanted to make this slightly more of a game than it was. So in case you don't know, Baby Mode Funny Hat Fail was literally just a crying baby set to the maximum number of timers in sequence. And we speedran it. That's obviously not a real game. It was just intended as a joke. But I thought it would be really nice if I actually put this up on GBG Shop as a game. I got most of the way into a concept before GBJune started. I'll just show you what I had. This is not indication that I either will or will not continue this. I'm simply showing you what I have. Okay, so the baby cries, and it is your objective to soothe the baby. So if you remember, the lore is that this is baby me, and I'd been hit on the head with a hat fired by Lario from a hat cannon. That story was made for a WarioWare DIY comic, which is why it doesn't make any sense. So if I mash buttons fast enough, I can get the hand into position, and if I keep it above a count of, I believe, 50 for long enough, then it will, maybe it's 60. Oh man, I need to get both my hands on the Joy-Con. There we go. Then it would, the idea was that the baby Dom would be sufficiently soothed and not cry anymore. That was as far as I got. So who knows what will happen with that. Sky Sphere with offset day is just the day version of this. I'll open it up in case you don't remember what this looked like. So this is a big sphere. This was before the modded template, I think, which follows the player around to produce the effect of a skybox. Project Salt is gone. I'll mention what Project Salt involved and why it's gone shortly, Voxy. Which the whole idea was to see whether I could layer multiple stuff here. But do you see that red kind of equator moving around? These are all orbiting, and the idea was to like produce a day-night cycle and various sky effects. I think this is a valid concept too, and especially with the modded objects, now you could do supersized spheres. It would produce really fun results, and like, I'd love to see somebody do something with this. You could adjust the scaling. Like right now, I have this following the player. I think maybe I was testing like what a rain effect would look like or something. I don't even really remember. But the actual like moving skybox to produce a day-night thing might be more of the interesting thing from this. But I had a day version and a night version, because I think the thought process was changing between two game codes. So like you would get day through to dusk, then it would swap game codes to night, and you get night through to dawn on one game code. And the reason for that was just because I could then use a texture connected to the world node on to change the overall lighting and produce this nice kind of dark version of the player node on, and the environment too. Weird World, I think I might have shown off at the start of the dev days, or mentioned at the start of the dev days. This was an idea that I had that basically prompted the overall effect for Project PlatFORMS. when I first built this, my original idea was to do some kind of non-combat RPG. And I literally never built anything other than this. And the reason why I didn't do anything more than this was because I couldn't figure out a way to not make the background rotate with the player. It's literally just that. Hey, Mr. O, no, I didn't tweak anything more than what's on the Zerp build 2 file that is uploaded on my account. That's Word World. And yes, Project Salt. So Project Salt was a like quick draw concept that I was working on or planning on working on. And oh no, Mr. O, don't worry, that this project is never getting touched again. That rotating background stuff, this was like legit 3 years ago, I think. I've just been, while you've been gone, Choops asked for me to show through my entire programming or game list. So I was just kind of referring back to some more projects. Project Salt was like a quick draw game. As in like a who can shoot first. And the reason why I wanted to play with... Why was it called Salt? Oh, wait. Maybe I don't even remember what my, like, the impetus was for that project. Because obviously the project names always mean something. Radar, Project Radar, was because it's about reflections, and radar is a palindrome. Oh, right. No, you're right, Voxy. It wasn't a quick draw thing. It was like some kind of fighting game, but you don't play it. It was like AI driven. And I think the reason I called it Salt was because of like Salty Bet, which is that new gen betting. Like you go on like on Twitch. I don't know whether it's still a thing, but there was a thing called Salty Bet many years ago where random fighters from the game New Gen would fight, and people could like place their bets on who would win. So I think it was like the AI would fight, and every time you loaded up the game, it would be a different combatant, and the idea was it would be something I would be able to play on stream, where chat could vote on whether they thought combatant 1 or combatant 2 would win. And the whole idea was it would use, actually very similar to Telfie in Project PlatFORMS, it would use sprites that rotate, but rather than rotating depending on which orientation the player moved in, it would rotate based on which side the camera was pointing. Because the whole idea was that the viewport would be like a Pokemon battle, where when one person was taking their turn, or one AI was taking their turn, it would be over their shoulder and you'd see their opponent, and then the camera would swing round and go behind the other combatant, and when it did that camera move, that swing round, the sprites would rotate. So all of the sprites would be these like hand-drawn characters that would have multiple view angles that like obviously adhered to the position of the camera. But it never got beyond even the camera movement. That's the reason why I deleted it, because RJ the Great says, I feel like I saw a thumbnail of yours with a project name that looked like a quick draw game. That's what I was thinking of. That's the one I was thinking of. The reason why it kind of looked like that is because it had that behind the back view where you could see the closest character and the further one away. They were kind of facing in opposing directions. But the reason I deleted it is because I didn't even get the camera working, and it just used the existing rotational character sprites from that one project Nintendo shared. Do you remember when they shared that thing that was like, here's how you can move the camera around and have the sprite rotate? it literally just used those. There was no original art. The camera didn't work. So I never felt the need to keep it. Is there anything left in this list? I don't think so. I suppose, again, want to be very careful to say this is not an indication that any of these will ever be worked on ever again. It's probably safe to assume that they would not, just so that you're not disappointed. Mousie's micro mission is one that I would love to go back to. I'm going to play it because I get the feeling that there will be people in chat who have never seen it before. And I will explain what my concept was with this. And we can go from there. So I liked the idea of this game being two parts. The first part is you have a 3D environment that you can navigate around. So we have Dr. Ratty talking us through our objective. And the idea is that there would be objects in the world that you need to interact with, such as this computer. So Dr. Ratty says, today we have an important mission. Begin, let's ask the patient to sit down. So we would go to the intercom, because they're behind glass, and tell Lario to go sit down. The text at the top doesn't work, so it's going to just keep cycling around. We would turn the system on to like run the status check on the computer, and then once that's up and running, we'd be able to use the teleporter to teleport Mousy, which would launch... Where is it? I thought this worked. Do I go over here? I honestly can't remember how to do this. Yeah, there we go. So we teleport Mousy, and then that would send like a little... I think I even just missed it. It would send a little pod that would fly into Lario, and then that would trigger a 2D game where you're navigating, basically kind of like a Angry Birds game, where you're navigating the tiny Mousy to do like operation on Lario. It is exactly like Inner Space, the movie Inner Space, where they shrink down and they go inside the body. And the idea was that once you do this, it would switch from this 3D environment to a 2D side-scrolling thing. And then once you finish that mission, it would go back to the 3D world and things would have changed. And I like the idea of like the 3D side of things is almost like a walking sim kind of thing where you just like interact with interesting objects in the world, but for a specific purpose. I also like this Mousy sprite. It blinks. This one is an idea. This is a concept that I really like. I kind of love that it does something fun with the text and the overlay, the HUD overlay. I kind of like this weird kind of two-part game idea. Okay, Voxy. Honestly, this is my entire list of anything that ever got anywhere. So if anything here takes your fancy, feel free to steal it. Then the other one is the Frog's Path of Fear demo. And this one I feel like would be ripe for a rebuild and an expansion, because this was super early on when I was still figuring out how to make 3D environments, really. Like, the controls, I don't know whether anyone here ever played this, but it has this like weird kind of tank controls thing going on. So the left stick, you could only walk forward and backwards with the left stick. There is no strafing. And the right stick is how you look around, and that's like a free look. So you're kind of yeah, you're kind of locked in. The movement is very strange. I think I literally couldn't work out how to do that. But again, I like the idea of like environmental things happening, but I don't think I knew how to like sufficiently trigger them. So that will just explode every time you go through a volume trigger here. Like that should be a one-off event. There should be some kind of particle effect or a change in the texture. There's a tiny mousey. I was very impressed that I managed to get, like, location sensor doors working. And then here, this is, like, where the demo falls apart in my opinion. There needs to be, like, an additional stage. So, like, as it works right now, here's the stages. There is a key card down here that when you collect opens a door over here. Before I wouldn't have been able to go through this door. Then when I approach this terminal, it's going to end the demo. I like fly out of that door. That door opens and I fly out of that door, and that's the end of the demo. But what I really should have done is at this stage, Freddy says go to the window. Yeah, we can see the 2D Jeff sprite not even rotating on the right axis. I don't think I ever fixed anything in this game, Freddy. Yeah, the way I should have had it was, you come into this room and, like, you need to input something on that terminal, and that would require you going, or, like, going to that terminal would open a door somewhere that would send you somewhere else. You know, like, there needs to be an additional stage here. So I used to be able to go through the windows. Maybe I did fix that. I don't know. I feel like I only ever uploaded it once. So then, like, you go to this and you just get launched out, and it says to be continued. The dripping from that pipe alone inspired my horror game so much. I was so pleased with the dripping. All there is like a synced up launcher and a sound effect. But yeah, I think like this format would be very, very fun to revisit and do 2025 style. But I'm not saying that I will do that. With the reflections, yes, yeah. Honestly, I think, in all seriousness, if I was to go back to any of this stuff, I couldn't in good conscience go to any of this stuff unless I first completed and made available... Where is it? The Hall of Legends, the 3D Hall of Legends. Obviously, this was intended to be accessible from inside Constructopia, but Constructopia is not happening. So I think if I was ever going to, like, make a continuation of anything here, I would just create or make available some version of this with a list of names in a 3D environment that people could access, and put that up on GBJ Shop. So just like between the date that I last worked on this to now, find anyone who sent a super chat, because I have, you know, I can see that full list. I would make a full list of those inside the whole Legends thing. Because yeah, that even if Constructopia isn't happening, that needs to happen. So I think that would be the thing that would need to happen before I was ever going to go back to any of these. But yeah, that's been a little tour through my games list. I do feel like there's some fun stuff here that could definitely be picked back up with all the knowledge we know now. But for now, the pressing thing is Project Platforms. I've made both the previous version with the working Telfie sprite and the old logic, as well as the Xert Build 2 stuff, which was my attempt to implement Xert stuff. Currently unsuccessful. I'm going to use the rest of my evening to try and get as much done on the GBG Direct, because it's out on Sunday. But thank you everybody for spending the last 3 or so hours with me. And thank you everybody who helped me along with trying to get the Xert logic working in my build. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I will see you almost certainly tomorrow. I'm going to figure out what we can do, whether or not we focus more on the art side of things, or whether or not we focus more on the logic side of things. Tomorrow will be...
Etelshin became a channel member.
Hey, Etelshin. Wait, Mr. Decina, thank you very, very much for the 10 memberships. I didn't see until I saw the first one come through.
Channel member.
Folks, Mr. Decina, thank you so, so much for the 10 channel memberships.
Queso Fresco became a channel.
Those who are watching right now will be receiving their channel memberships as we speak. That is so, so appreciated.
Haunted Corpse became a channel.
Make sure to say thank you to Mr. Decina if you've received a channel membership. Mr. Decina says, don't know if I'll be able to make it for the weekend show since... Oh, it scrolled off.
Became a channel member.
Where is it? Don't know if I'll be able to make it to the weekend show since I've been busy lately. If I don't, hope you all have fun. Mr. Decina, thank you so much. And thank you very much for sharing 10 channel memberships
Became a channel member.
with viewers. That is extremely, extremely cool gamer of you.
Nosula Rex became a channel member.
Troop says those gift memberships reveal all the lurkers peeking from the walls. It's true.
Beeper Leap became a channel.
Okay, we'll let these 10 play out, and I'll then start to wrap up.
Pipro became a channel member.
Pipro? Who's Pipro? Show your face, Pipro.
Easy. Let's try.
Wait, where did that easy first try come from? Oh, there we go. Troop sent it. I think my chat's delayed. Okay. There we go. That looks like that's our 10. If you received a channel membership from the very generous Mr. Decina, make sure you say thank you. Mr. Decina, that is very, very much appreciated, and I hope in all of your current busyness, you're doing well. Let's wrap it up here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, I think what I was saying was, we'll see where I get to. I'll try and do some stuff off camera. I'll see where I'll get to, and that will dictate whether tomorrow's extracurricular stream will be more focused on art or more focused on systems. But realistically, we only have 2 extracurricular streams left to get something working here. So it probably ought to be system stuff. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wrong mouse. Bye-bye.